Hey ambitious professionals, it's Linda Rayner of lindarayner.com, guiding you to a career and life you'll truly enjoy. And in today's video, I am going to walk you through 3 reasons why you haven't been promoted yet in your current job and why you're still stuck in the same old job and what you can do about it. As a career strategist, I have had the honor of being able to help numerous professionals land their dream job offers in companies where they're experiencing career growth development. And if this is something that you're interested in, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, I can give you details about that at the end of this video. If you're watching this video, it's because you're someone who works hard, you do a good job in your position, in your company, and at the same time though, all that effort, all that energy that you've put into your job hasn't gotten you much because you're constantly being passed up for promotions. And for whatever reason, other people around you who may not be working as hard or may not be as smart as you are getting the jobs that you want. So why is that? Well, like I said, there's 3 reasons that I believe that are causing you to limit yourself from being promoted. And these reasons are actually beliefs that are deeply embedded within you that you need to shift out of in order to get yourself moving on that path to better promotions and opportunities. Belief number 1 is working hard is the key to success. If you were like me, you were probably raised in a family that emphasized hard work, emphasized the idea that as long as you worked hard, you studied well, you got good grades, then one day you'll be rewarded with a great job opportunity. And once you start your new job, their first full-time job, let's say, you work hard. And that has actually helped you throughout the years because it's probably gotten you to the level that you're at now. But what you're finding is in the most recent months and years, hard work alone doesn't seem to be enough. And that's because you've had this belief that hard work is what's going to get people to respect you. But now you're starting to get hints and realizations that that's not always the case. The reality is that if you're someone who just goes into work, puts your head down, does your job and leaves, and you don't develop any relationships with your coworkers, with your bosses, with anyone, and you're not fully expressing yourself, then you're just being seen as someone who does what they're told. And that's not being seen as leadership material. So the next time that you're in the office and you find that people are piling work onto you because they think that you're going to be the one to get things done, even though that work doesn't belong to you, instead of saying yes to them, I want you to implement my approach, which I call IDW. And IDW stands for Impact, Deadline, and Who. So let's start with impact. The next time someone offers you or asks you to work on a project or a task that they want you to get done, you need to ask, what impact is this going to have on the company, on the department, and on others in the organization? Is it going to have a major, strong, immediate impact? Or is it a back burner kind of task? You need to be able to prioritize and understand the impact of every little thing that you do in order to be able to identify what the most important things are and be able to communicate what back burner tasks you're not willing to do at the moment. Because if you don't speak up when you know that something's not that important, but yet you're being thrown to do it, and you say yes to it, that's how people are going to see you as just someone that does the back burner tasks. So if you start to understand that there are projects and assignments that are more important than others, and while you're working on those and making sure that you move those forward and move those along, that if someone approaches you to ask you to work on something that's a back burner task, that you have the confidence to be able to explain to them why that is not something that you can do right now. However, that's something you can help them with if they need the help and assistance in that area. However, you have your priorities right now because this is what's most important. That is what's going to allow you to be seen as someone who has confidence within herself to be able to establish healthy boundaries. You don't want to be someone who's a doormat. You don't want to be someone that people see as just, I'll give it to that person to do the work because I know that they can get it done well. Even if that person is your boss, you want to establish boundaries for yourself, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. And we'll continue with what I mean by that. D is for deadline. So Is the deadline high urgency? Is it due tomorrow? Is it something that's due immediately? If yes, then that is a high impact, high urgent type of project or task, and you should say yes and you should work on it. But if it's something that is farther out into the future, then it shouldn't be something that you should be working on now. Now, I know that as a hard worker, we want to get through all the things that are assigned to us. We want to get through them all, whether they're due now or due later. But you have to understand the impact, and part of understanding the impact that you're going to have on the company and for the people around you, you have to understand the urgency and be able to prioritize that way. And finally, the last question is who? Who assigned you this task or project? Was it your boss or your boss's boss? If that's the case, then yes, that's high impact, high urgency. But if it's anyone else, if it's a coworker that's all of a sudden asking you to do something that they should be doing, then you really need to assess the situation there. You need to go to them and have the confidence and be willingness to say, do you know how to do this? Because I currently have these tasks that I'm assigned right now, and if this is something that you need help with, absolutely I can help you, but do you know how to do it yourself, or do you want me to show you the ways or techniques on how you can do it? Because the truth is, if they're asking you to do something on their behalf, and it's really their project or their task that they're supposed to do, it means that they probably don't know how to do it, and they're going to you so that you can do it for them. And if you're someone who's nice and who's been a yes man or yes woman over the years, their thinking is that you're going to say yes to them. Now it's time to reverse it a little bit, establish boundaries for yourself, and offer them the assistance in terms of, let me show you how to do it, and so that you can do it yourself, as opposed to, sure, I'll do it for you. Belief number 2 is, I don't have to ask for what I want. They should see I deserve it and give it to me. A lot of hardworking professionals that I've come across have this embedded belief within them. Well, I'm sorry to say, but the reality is, in a lot of organizations, if the boss that is above you or their boss is above you is not someone who's going to be all that forward thinking and isn't someone who sees things in the long term, which means they're not the greatest boss to begin with. But if there's someone that's like that, then what's going to happen is, if you don't speak up and you don't ask for that salary bump or that better title or that amazing project that you want to work on, if you don't ask for those things, especially when you're ripe, when you're ready for them, you're not going to be given them. Now, before you run off to your boss and start asking him or her for a raise, I want to start this with the premise that you already need to be performing. You need to be ripe for those opportunities. What I mean by that is, we've already talked a lot about how you're a hardworking individual, you've put a lot of energy into your job, you've done a lot of things for them. But the truth here is, you have to ask yourself, am I someone who has just been exerting a lot of energy, or am I someone who has been exerting a lot of energy and has been efficient in what I do? I've gotten things done accurately. I've been efficient in what I do. People see me as a strong performer in my job, see me as a knowledge champion, as an expert in the work that I do. If that's how you're being seen right now and that's how you feel about yourself in the role, then yes, you are ripe. And you can get real negotiation tactics in another video that I've created called How to Negotiate a Higher Salary for Yourself, which I'll have the link down below. But at the same time, you have to remember, when you're walking into these negotiation meetings and you're asking for that pay raise or that title, you really want to make sure that you are able to articulate and express the value that you have brought to this company. What have you contributed? What are the accomplishments that you have made? What are the numbers and metrics that come along with that? You have to be able to prove it and demonstrate it, almost as if you're a lawyer and you're, articulating your case, making a case for why you deserve something. And you have to demonstrate a sense of, I'd like to say confidence, but confidence can be a very big term for some people, just a sense of groundedness. Be grounded and truly believe that you feel that you're ready, and not just that you're ready, but you deserve these things. So when you can bring that energy into these meetings and you can display your value and your abilities, then that's what's going to shift the boss's perspective and actually entertain. Hopefully they'll at least entertain the idea of giving you what you're asking for. And the third belief that you might have is, I feel like the people who get ahead are fake and brown nosers. I don't want to be like them. If you haven't already experienced it, then I'm sure you will eventually at one point in your career, and that is in the corporate world, you're going to come across all different kinds of personalities, just like anywhere. And yes, there's the unfortunate circumstance where at times there are people who are able to get ahead by stepping on other people to get there. But that's not going to be you. So don't even bring those people into your existence or into your own awareness, because you don't want to be tainted by thinking that that's how it is, that that's how people are able to get ahead, because it's not. The reality is most people do what you're doing. They work hard. They are able to demonstrate results in their job, but the thing that you're not doing, that they are doing, is that they feel that they deserve it and therefore they're willing to ask for it. So what I suggest is, instead of looking at those types of people, look at the people who are actually inspiring you. The people, they could be in your organization, they could be outside of your organization, they could be people who you follow online, but you want to start to surround yourself with an understanding of people who are exhibiting qualities that you admire, people who are inspiring you, who are uplifting you, because the more that you can believe that those people exist, I mean, they do exist, and the more that you can surround yourself in that sort of energy, then the more that you're going to be able to mimic and sort of emulate those qualities within yourself. The truth is, if you admire a quality about someone, there's a good chance that that already exists within you. It's just that you're not fully expressing it yourself. So if you ever catch yourself saying, I wish I could be as confident or talk as well as that other person, I wish I could negotiate as well as that other person, I wish I could present as well as that other person, whatever it is, part of it is that you wish that because you feel that you're lacking in it, but really you already have that quality. You're just not working on it enough. You're not expressing it fully. So instead of looking at the negative people, look at the positive. And from there, see how you can emulate and improve yourself by surrounding yourself in that positive energy. It's time that you understand that to get ahead, it's not about being a brown noser or being fake. True great leaders exist, and the way that they've gotten to where they have is because they've been genuine, authentic, they know their values, they know their strengths, and they're able to demonstrate that and bring that forward, and they're able to articulate and express that in front of anyone. They're not only looking at a certain type of person and demonstrating that to that type of person. They genuinely embody it and feel it and believe it within themselves. So as long as you can start to incorporate that into your life, and you can start shifting these 3 beliefs that are probably deeply embedded within you, then you can start to see the light, and hopefully that will guide you down the path of eventually getting what it is that you deserve, whether it's a better career opportunity or that bump in salary or that better title or that amazing project. You deserve it. You just have to shift your beliefs to get yourself there. So now that you've learned the 3 limiting beliefs that are holding you back, but yet you're still finding that you're struggling with your job search and you're wanting to learn how to sell yourself more effectively to employers so that you can get that better job with long-term career growth potential, then feel free to reach out to me at lindarainer.com/standoutgethired. That's my one-on-one coaching program. Read through the website, and if it's something that you're interested in, then feel free to fill in the application form, and if I think that we are a match, then I will reach out to you directly. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.